Hi, my name is Stefan Garnick. I'm an expert EFT practitioner and soulmate attraction mentor from EFTalive.com and single2soulmate.me. In this video, I'm going to talk about using EFT for coping versus healing. In the process, you're going to learn how to much more effectively apply EFT in your life, and we're also going to clear up one of the most common major misconceptions about EFT. So in fact, I'm going to start with the major misconception. When people first start learning how to do EFT on YouTube or on the internet, they always start with learning what's called the EFT basic recipe. In fact, I have a video like that myself. And in the EFT basic recipe, we talk about coming up with a problem phrase to describe the problem that you're trying to address with tapping. And then you use that problem phrase in all the points. Right? We say, even though problem phrase, I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself while tapping the cry chop point 3 times. And then you say the problem phrase at every point. Okay? Problem phrase, problem phrase, problem phrase, problem phrase. Now, that is how we first start doing EFT. It's the simplest possible way to apply EFT. But this one thing has led to this very common misconception about EFT. And I hear this all the time. And what it is that people think that they can use EFT to help themselves with any issue in their life if they just find the perfect phrase, the right phrase for that issue, and that's all it takes. So lots of times I'll get emails from people saying, since I help people find love, what's the right phrase to help me find my soulmate? And they'll say, well, I've tried phrases like, even though I can't find my soulmate, right? That's my problem, is I can't find my soulmate. So even though I can't find my soulmate, I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself. And then I can't find my soulmate, things like that. All right. So this is the big misconception, that it's all about just finding the right phrase. In fact, finding the right phrase only applies in the case of using EFT for coping. It does not apply in the case of using EFT for healing. So what do I mean by using EFT for coping versus healing? So the idea with using EFT for coping is that we're using EFT to help get relief from negative emotions and stress that we're feeling right now about something that's happening right now. So a perfect example is I was, driving my car on the freeway and somebody almost sideswiped me. And, it was this terrifying moment. It's like, oh my God, they're going to hit. And it's like, oh, just missed, right? And I'm driving along going, oh, I almost got hit. So I'm in a state of stressful fear and feelings, right? So I'm having in the moment feelings. So in that kind of case, you would do exactly the EFT basic recipe. So you want to find a phrase that describes, specifically as possible, what you're experiencing in the moment. So in fact, I have another video called What to Say While Tapping, How to Pick Effective Tapping Phrases, which is again along the lines of EFT for coping. So we have this video that will help you, figure out the best words to use for in the moment feelings, what I'm experiencing right now. So in the case of almost got hit by the car, it's like, even though, oh my God, I almost got hit by that car and I'm freaking out, right? I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself, so almost got hit by that car, freaking me out. I'm so scared from what just happened. Oh my God, almost got hit by that car. So you're tapping on the experience you're having in the moment. Or another example of that is, let's say you're taking some sort of exam tomorrow, or maybe today, like you just got up in the morning and you're anxious about the exam. So you would tap on that. Even though I'm scared about taking this exam, or I'm feeling anxious about it or something like that because it's so important. Like if you're in school, I need to get a grade, or if you're not in school, maybe it's some kind of licensing exam or who knows what. Even though I'm anxious about exam, I'm afraid I won't do well enough. I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself. That kind of thing. So these are all examples of using EFT for coping, getting relief from in the moment feelings about something that's happening now, right? Just happened, or you're anticipating this thing that's happening. So these are examples of using EFT for coping. Nothing wrong with using EFT for coping. In fact, it's great. It's a wonderful self-help tool to get relief from what's happening in the moment. But now let's start talking about EFT for healing. EFT for healing is where you're trying to address a life issue, something big that's going on in your life. It's not something that's just happening in the moment. It's something that's part of your ongoing life all the time. We all have these major life issues, right? So the soulmate one, like I'm having a hard time finding my soulmate. Or let's say you're somebody who has a really hard time with boundaries, right? It's hard to say no. It's hard to express a boundary, hard to then enforce the boundary after you express it. Or maybe you're somebody who has ongoing anxiety issues or ongoing anger issues, or you tend towards depression, or any kind of life issue, right? Then finding the right phrase doesn't help at all, and is in fact not relevant to how to use EFT to address that kind of thing. If you want to address a life issue, then you need to go to the source of that issue, right? How did this issue happen in your life? You weren't born with this issue. You weren't born anxious all the time. You weren't born with the difficulty of having boundaries. You weren't born with the difficulty finding your soulmate. Whatever the life issue is, all of our life issues are a result of having painful experiences, typically in childhood, typically with our parents. It's not, most of the time it's those, that's the situation. Sometimes it could be with classmates or teachers. Occasionally it can be things that happened older, when we were old in our life, like when we were a teenager or in our 20s or something like that, if it's a particularly traumatic thing. But most of our life issues come from painful experiences that we had, usually as a young child in our family, usually with our parents or caregivers. So using EFT for healing means that you need to identify these root cause memories. I like to call them core memories. So these are the specific kinds of experiences we had growing up that resulted in the life issue. So for instance, let's say you have a hard time with boundaries, saying no, enforcing the boundaries, stuff like that. Now there can be a number of different causes for that kind of life issue, but one common one is to have a controlling parent, kind of an angry, controlling parent growing up, where if we ever tried to have a boundary, they would just get really mad at us and how dare you, talk back to me or stand up to me or defy me or any of these things. And it was sort of trained out of you. Like it wasn't okay to have boundaries in your family, right? Typically it'd be some way it wasn't okay to have boundaries growing up. And so what you would do is you would apply EFT to those memories. You wouldn't have to apply it to all memories like that. Usually it only takes a few. Okay, there's something called the generalization effect. So in fact, the kind of procedure I like to follow is think of the first time this painful experience happened, and then the next couple of worst ones. So first and worst, I call it. And often it only takes healing, 3 to 5 memories, representative memories of, like that parent in the example I gave you, the parent being controlling and not letting you have a boundary. So if you heal with EFT 3, 4, 5 of those representative memories, you'll find that, I'm now not so scared to have boundaries anymore. Now I feel able to do it, right? So that's the crux of EFT for healing. Now there's a lot more to it. Like for instance, how do I use EFT to heal a painful memory? Well, it turns out I have another video for that. It's called How to Use EFT to Heal Painful Memories, basic and advanced versions, actually. So if you don't already know how to apply EFT to heal a painful memory, feel free to check out that video. They'll teach you how to do that. But the thing about EFT for coping versus healing that's a major remaining distinction is not just that we use EFT to address core memories, to address our life issues. The other difference is the lasting effect. Let's say there's some situation that comes up that brings up a lot of painful feelings for me, right? Without getting into the specifics of it. Maybe it's public speaking. Okay, let's use that one. Now, there's the coping strategy for addressing our fear of public speaking with EFT versus the healing strategy. So let's just think about that for a minute. When we use EFT for coping, which is simply addressing our in-the-moment feelings, we're basically trying to use EFT at a symptom level, right? So if I have a fear of public speaking, again, believe it or not, even though it's a hugely common fear, we're not born with that fear. Lots of kids like talking in front of people. If you look at little kids, they like, bah, 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 bah. They like talking and they enjoy being the center of attention. So most of us are not born with a fear of public speaking. Usually we develop one over time, again, due to painful experiences growing up. Now, a lot of people who don't understand this coping versus healing thing will try and use the coping strategy to address it. So let's say they're going to give a talk and they're really nervous. It's that day, maybe it's an hour before the talk, and they think, okay, I'm going to use EFT. Even though I'm terrified of talking in front of all those people, I deeply and profoundly love and accept myself. And they do that 3 times and tap on all the points. And let's say it helps and they feel better. Okay. Now they're addressing it at a symptom level. They have not addressed the root cause. In that case, it might help them for that particular talk, but because they haven't addressed it at its root cause, the next talk they give, all the fear is going to come right back up again. Right? It makes sense. They're addressing it at the symptom level. They're not addressing it at the root cause. When you address it at the root cause, then the fear goes away forever, right? Because you've addressed the cause, right? So the cause is now healed. You're now not afraid anymore. The life issue is over forever. At the symptom level, or the coping level of using EFT, at best, you'll get temporary relief, but it'll keep coming back every time you encounter that situation again. At worst, you won't even get temporary relief. Some people, as they're trying to tap on their fear of public speaking, as in that example, it doesn't either just comes down a little bit, maybe it was like a 9 and then it came down from a 9 to a 6. So it's still really strong. Or maybe it didn't come down at all. And that's how EFT is sometimes. If we don't address the source of the problem, sometimes we get no effect, or just a little bit of effect, or a temporary effect. It's never permanent when we do it that way. You want it to be permanent, you have to go to the root cause. So I hope this helps you understand and clears up that misconception about the only thing you ever have to do with EFT is to find that perfect phrase, because if you think that's the case, you're going to be very disappointed and frustrated. You need to go to root cause memories. I have a video on how to do that. If you do that, then it's going to really make a dramatic difference in how effective EFT is for you as you're trying to address life issues. So I hope this video was helpful. If you want more ongoing help, you can, first of all, if you like the video, it'd be wonderful if you click on the little like button. That'd be really nice. You're also very free to subscribe to his channel. But I also have this other really cool thing that for free I can give you, and that is at my website at EFTalive.com. I have a free ebook called Change Your Beliefs, Change Your Life with the Miracle of EFT. And this ebook teaches you how to use EFT to change negative beliefs into positive ones. One of the things that holds us back in life a lot are what we call negative limiting beliefs. These are limiting beliefs that are actually not true, and there may even be a part of you that knows they're not true, and yet, again, they are a result from our childhood, and they hold us back, right? So these negative beliefs could be things like, I'm not good enough, or, let's say people are working on abundance, and they have these negative beliefs about people with money, and they says like, there's like people's money are bad in various negative ways, and I don't want to be that, so it causes me to hold myself back on earning money. There's many ways that our beliefs can hold us back in life. So in my free ebook, Change Your Beliefs, Change Your Life, with the Miracle of EFT, it teaches you how to use EFT to effectively change your beliefs. And then once you get the ebook, there's a series of ongoing sort of continuing education lessons on how to use EFT in all sorts of practical ways in your life. So I invite you to go to EFTalive.com and sign up for the free ebook.